Ladies and gentlemen, to discuss the future of the American Merchant Marine, here is Larry King. Now, that's panic. It's panic. I get up. I don't know anything about this. They're all leaning forward. I decided something. If you're going to speak about something and you don't know it, don't mention it. I'm only going to get in trouble. So I never mentioned the Merchant Marine. I spoke about anything that came to mind. Baseball, politics, Dade County, anything. I said, thank you. I jumped off the stage. Nobody applauds, no laughed. I'm running out. One guy's turning up his hearing aid. Did he mention the Merchant Marine? I get to my car. This is June in Miami. It's like 96 degrees. I get in the car, I'm sweating, the air conditioning, I turn it on, it's blowing in my face, and I say to myself, I'm never going to speak again. I don't need this. I don't have to speak. I don't need to speak. I got radio, I got television. I do not have to speak. Suddenly there's a banging on the window of the car. The speaker's chairman, the guy who called me, the guy who took the day off work, is banging on the window of the car, and he is ticked. Now, he's beyond ticked. He's in another world of tickdom. He is banging. So I hit the button, and the window goes down. And as the window goes down, he's got his face in the window. And I got my hand on the button. You know, I could have sweated and guillotined him, right? So he backs off, and he starts to scream. You never mentioned the future of the American Merchant Marine. We got the largest membership attendance we ever had. And you never mentioned the future of the American Merchant Marine. I said, they have no future, and drove away. Which is one way not to be invited back. Another time, I spoke for the mafia. The truth. Now, like most of you, I used to think that all the mafia did was moff all day long. No, I used to think they get up in the morning, breakfast, couple of crimes, lunch, couple of crimes, dinner, maybe a crime, Saturday morning, maybe a crime, Sunday church, right? That was the mafia. But I found out that the mafia got involved in other things. Their children go to services, they go to the army, they get involved in charity, and that's how I got involved with them. I worked at Channel 4 in Miami. A guy named, I still remember, Tay Boy was his name, the director. He walks in, he says, Larry, important call for you on line 2. It's a boom, boom, giorno. Boom, boom, giorno. I pick up the phone, I said, hello, that's the last thing I said. This voice said, King, boom, boom, giorno. Write this down. War Memorial Auditorium, Fort Lauderdale, November 3rd, Boys Town of Italy. It's a charity. Sergio Franchi is the singer. You are the MC. 8 o'clock, black tie, hung up. I went. Something told me it would be in my best interest to go to this. Boom, boom, giorno. I drive up US 1. There was no I-95 then. I go up US 1, Fort Lauderdale, War Memorial, there's a big sign. Boys Town of Italy, Sergio Franchi singer, Larry King MC. I said, ooh, thank God I wrote it down. I go backstage, there's a guy standing there, double pinstripe suit, cigarette dangling from his mouth. He says, I'm boom, boom, giorno. We're glad you came. I said, you're glad I came. He takes me backstage, this is the truth. A 50-piece Catholic high school marching band. A cardinal from Italy who runs the Boys Town there. Sergio Franchi with a 15-piece orchestra. Sergio is a great singer. I go over to Sergio, I said, how did they get you to do this? He says, a guy named Boom Boom Giorno called. I'm here. Boom Boom gives me my instructions. He says, here's what you do. Go on stage, do 15 minutes, kid us all you like, we don't mind, we have fun. Bring on Sergio, he'll sing, and then we all go back on stage, and we give the cardinal a check. So I went on, he says, oh, one other thing, don't have them turn the house lights up. I says, why not? He says, well, this guy's in the jukebox business, this guy's in the olive oil business, there's a whole section of FBI agents. Leave the lights dark. So I went on stage. I was a little nervous, but I kidded around. They were a wonderful audience, by the way. If you ever worked for the Mafia, no, they really are. They laugh a lot. They're a wonderful audience. So I finish. I bring on Sergio. He sings. He was phenomenal. Sang For Now. He was great. We all go back on stage. We give the Cardinal a check for $450,000. I never forgot. I saw that check. $450,000. Give it to the Cardinal. Wonderful evening. Everybody applauds. We're walking out, and Boom Boom is walking me to my car. And he is very pleased. And he says to me, "We are very pleased." I says, "Thank you, Boom Boom." He says, "Listen, I spoke to the guys. We owe you a favor." So I said, "Hey, Boom Boom, no thanks. I don't need a favor. I was happy to do it. Pleasure to do it. Happy to do it." Boom Boom then says, "We don't like to owe favors." So now get this. I now have a marker on the Mafia, and they don't like to owe favors. So I said, what logical to say? What do you got in mind? Ladies and gentlemen, he said 5 words. Nobody here will ever hear those 5 words. I will never hear them again. I remember where the moon was. It was 7 minutes after 11. I remember the sweat going down my face. He said 5 words. I went paralyzed. My spine froze. He said simply, "Got anybody you don't like?" And I tell you, if that's ever said to you by a member of the Mafia, morality aside, the first thing you think of is names. I saved the life of the general manager at Channel 4. And finally, I said, "Hey, Boom Boom, I can't do that." He says, "You can't? Nobody? No, you can't. Maybe a couple broken legs. You can't." No. And I said, "No," and he was visibly disappointed. And he said, "Do you like horse racing?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Okay, we'll be in touch." A couple weeks later, I get a call early in the morning. It could have been Boom, it was just a voice. It said, "Apple Tree in the 3rd race today at Hialeah. The Mafia is giving me a horse." I had $800 to my name. I borrow $500. I run out to Hialeah. 3rd race, I bet $1,300 to win on Apple Tree. The horses are going in the gate. And I say to myself, you know, there are 3 sure things in life: death, taxes, and Apple Tree is going to win the 3rd. I knew it during the running of the race when 5 jockeys jumped off their horses. The Mafia has a way of guaranteeing things. These are the kind of jams you get in when you do speaking. I had a friend once, great friend, he was a district attorney in Miami, and he called me up one day. He said, "Listen, there's 2 conventions going on in Miami Beach at the same time. The International Chiefs of Police, and the National District Attorneys. It was a coincidence. They're both going on. And it turns out the Fontainebleau Hotel's ballroom was dark that night. It's a Sunday. They're going to have a combined dinner. Chiefs of Police, National District Attorneys. I'm the chairman of the dinner. We put it all together. We had to cancel the afternoon speech, which was going to be the chairman of the Florida Crime Commission, Frank Silverstein. Now, we all know him in Florida. Frank is the world's most boring speaker. So I booked him to be there that night, but I'm going to be embarrassed because he's going to, we understand him in Florida, but the rest of the country is not going to understand him. So do me a favor, follow him. I said, but nobody, just follow him, do some jokes. I said, but nobody knows me. He says, all right, I'll give you a big introduction. Big introduction. So I go there that night, place is packed, chiefs of police, some of them in uniform, district attorneys, I'm on stage. Frank Silverstein, chairman of the Florida Commission, gets up to speak. Florida Crime Commission, the world's most boring speaker. I want to tell you about crime and crime. Why about crime? First person to go to sleep, Mrs. Silverstein. Bang. She put her head right into the baked Alaska. Boom, gone. Baked Alaska, by the way, was a dessert founded once in Fairbanks. Anyway, no, that's a side joke. Anyway, now I got to follow Frank Silverstein, and here's my introduction. Nobody knows me, right? Ladies and gentlemen, before you leave, my friend Larry King. Now, half the crowd is standing up, ready to run to the elevators. They just heard the world's most boring speaker. I got to follow him. He spoke. What am I going to do? It's all instinct. I ran to the microphone. I said, ladies and gentlemen, hold it, stop, stay right where you are. I'm in broadcasting. Yes, broadcasting. In broadcasting, we have a fairness doctrine. We have an equal time code. We have just heard Frank Silverstein speak against crime. I am here to speak on behalf of crime. You could have heard a pin drop, man. I had them sold. Now, I had to think of something to say. Here's what I said. How many people in this room would like to live in Butte, Montana? Raise your hand. Nobody raised their hand, I tell you. Nobody raise your hand. Butte, Montana is the lowest crime rate city in the Western world. No one wants to go there. No one wants to live there. They have no crimes. They don't have a locksmith in Butte, Montana. Nobody wants to go there. The top 5 crime cities in America: New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and Miami. The top 5 tourist cities: New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, crime is a major tourist attraction.